Hello, and welcome to the Albright Scholar for December 2023. My name is John Pankratz. I teach history at Albright, and each month it's my pleasure to invite BCTV viewers and residents of Greater Reading to take a glimpse inside our learning community up on North 13th Street, to look at the work being done by teachers and students, and to think a bit about its impact on all of us. Well, my colleagues have been very busy over the last year and a half, creating new programs of study, enriching our offerings and our curriculum for the benefit of our students, and I think also for the benefit of our community. We've invented new majors, co-majors, and something else new called Spark certificates, where students can follow really their strong inclinations and interests. And I'll talk about those Spark certificates on another show. Tonight, one of the most creative responses to this call for new programs, and something that I think has been in people's minds for a while, a co-major in vocal performance. And it's finally, with the addition of our marvelous director of choral music, Derek Thompson, that we're able to bring together the teaching talent and the student talent to create some wonderful career-building courses and a program that gives students remarkable experience. Let me introduce this very talented group of folks that I have here with me. To my left, to your right, is Dr. Derek Thompson, Director of Choral Music at Albright, and now in his second year of leading a wonderful series of choral groups and teaching some great classes. Next to him is a junior at the college, Daniel Reyes, who is a theater major and a vocal performance co-major, and a domino player and really one of the most active spirits on campus. Immediately to my left is Tamara Black, an instructor in music and director of the Berks Opera, as well as a teacher at Albright College and a noted soprano. To my right is Isabella Tufik, and Bella is a first-year student and has already seen a great deal of time on stage and has graced our concert hall as well. Next to her is Jeffrey Lentz, a senior artist in residence in the departments of both theater and music, and of course, a loyal Albrightian and a very accomplished singer of opera and an accomplished director as well. And then finally, a sophomore, Julia Poole, who is majoring in theater and also in vocal performance as well. And she's been busy this year as well. Thank you now during exam week for taking the time to hang with me here and to talk about this wonderful new program. Jeff, this has been one of your dreams for a while, so why didn't you talk a little bit about the genesis of the program? And
yeah, so when I was a student at Albright, I was the first student to have music as part of my degree program at Albright. The music department was a wonderful service department, as it was called in those days. It served the general education population, but it had really wonderful experiential programming going on in choral and instrumental areas, and there was always a desire for it to grow at Albright. And then once there was a theater major as well in the early 2000s, the music department also began to develop an identity of its own for the major. We selected music industry as our specialty, and that's where things began to blossom for us, because the music industry degree requires that students have some background in the industry side of the music industry, the business side, the technology side of music technology and production, and then also artistry. And that's where we've been able to make this, finally make this official, to have a real academic program that links the study of music and the study of theater. Or if you are, because what's unique to the program, maybe we're getting a little ahead, but what is so particularly unique is that our program is designed to service students who might be interested, like a lot of the folks here with us tonight, who might be interested in the musical theater or opera side of the music industry, but also for our students who are interested in the contemporary music, singer-songwriters, cabaret, jazz. Those students can link now a new co-major in music production as well.
Right, and we could have brought several of them onto the show if we had more chairs here at BCTV.
So that's what's exciting, is that it really is exactly what we've been dreaming of, harnessing the co-major experience at Albright. This very interdisciplinary look at undergraduate training.
Yeah. Tammy, I know you've been dreaming this dream as well.
I have, and we did, as you know, John, we just completed our first ever student fully staged opera at Albright, Amal and the Night Visitors, which was, wow, was it wonderful
It really
to
was.
see.
I saw it twice. I loved it.
But that's been a beautiful link between Berks Opera Company as well, of course, you know, to be able to foster those sorts of synergies within community organizations and then have more of our community come to campus to see these performances.
That was wonderful. All the lead roles were sung by Albright students, many of them
Indeed.
vocal performance
Yes,
co-majors,
for
and
sure.
Except for Amal, who's only 12 and not yet an Albright
Not
student.
yet, not yet. That time will come, I'm sure. But yeah, just the learning experience of doing can't be replicated in the classroom.
Right.
Right. And I think that was what was so very powerful about this experience is we can talk about it to students all day long, but that's not the same thing. Until one gets the opportunity to actually put that on its feet and experience what it is to do all of those disparate parts at once and link them together and keep thinking.
And have them all part of their repertoire.
Right,
Yeah.
So it was a really, from my vantage point, it was a wonderful experience to watch our students grow and learn and allow them to perform in front of such a lovely audience.
Yeah. And Derek, of course, your arrival here has really helped to make this gel and happen. So we're so grateful for your leadership in choral studies and your chance to meet and work with these students so intensely.
Yeah, you know, as I mentioned at the concert on Saturday night, it's been a joy to, in the year and a half, step in and work with fabulous colleagues to be able to make and create this musical experience for the students. And then just to, you know, while I'm teaching voice lessons to many other students as well, being able to see them in that choral aspect and be able to bring a new atmosphere within the choral realm of the music making process for these students. So being able to provide bigger works, opportunities for those students through Carmina Burana or through, you know, a Stompy that we did this past weekend, being able to provide that musical experience with instrumentalists across Berks County as well. So yeah, it's been great.
It has. Dan, have you been busy enough this these past 2.5 years?
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Give us a couple high points that you've really enjoyed performing.
I loved doing Amal and the Night Visitors. That was a really unique experience. I loved last year doing Spring Awakening, the first like college musical that I've ever done. It was a deep dive. It was very exciting. I love everything choir. It's what I use to get away from academics and everything.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
just
choir
relaxing.
rehearsal at 4 in the afternoon after
Yes.
all the book classes are done.
It's so nice. I think I'm in the, I don't know, minority of just like, I don't know, I don't see it as a class. But that, and just also just vocal styles and repertoire class that DT, everyone here is here on the
is
labs on
teaching
Friday.
lessons, yeah.
But then Monday and Wednesday, we'll learn about different styles and different periods of music, and we'll sing those songs. And so everything from Handel to bel canto is done, and I've loved every second of it.
Exploring all those different genres.
Yes.
Great. Great. Well, Bella, you've been pretty busy too. For a first-year student, you've been here one semester, and you performed in Song and Story, this devised piece that Jeff and students, yourself included, brought together. And then you were in a straight play that really didn't have any music in it. I guess Shakespeare wrote a couple lyrics, but nevertheless, you got to sing 2 songs, and I think really stopped the show with one of them. It was really lovely. But this program, this new program, doesn't strike you as new because you're new as well.
Yeah.
What kinds of work have you been doing in your courses?
Oh gosh. Well, as Dan mentioned, I'm all in the Night Visitors, which
Yeah.
I was able to stage manage. I got the opportunity. Like I've never done that before, so getting to be able to delve into that was something like I didn't know that I really liked. So I found something new,
Okay.
which I feel very grateful for. And I think, oh gosh, I'm coming up on I think the 4th main stage show that that I've been involved in so far.
Yeah.
So that's been a really exciting. Like I have a couple friends who are at other universities who haven't gotten a chance to perform at all.
Yeah.
And I feel really lucky.
I think, and again, in so many fields, the scale of Albright, being a small liberal arts college, allows students to have multiple experiences and really to dive into their own talent and really bring themselves up as well.
Yeah.
And Julia, you haven't been any less busy. Right. Would you care to recite a few of your lines from As You Like It?
That, or maybe some of them all. I'm working on that. Also, yeah, working this semester has been wonderful. I also have the privilege to work in the costume shop under Liz Polly. So I was able to help work with the devised piece, which was a much more modern and casual costuming to As You Like It, which was much different. And I love being able to work on my own costume pieces and making my own skirt that I get to wear on stage. So I just love getting these opportunities that I don't think I would be able to have in other places here.
Right. And of course, you too had a wonderful vocal turn in As You Like It.
Yes.
A song that Shakespeare didn't write.
No,
but I think
no.
Bob Dylan recorded and several other
Yes.
people as well. And that was a wonderful moment. And Dan, of course, was up in the loft accompanying that and singing along.
And so was Bella.
As well was Bella. We could reproduce that. Did you bring your guitar?
My banjo.
That's,
No.
we're teasing the audience here. We're talking about all this glorious music making, and you're not getting to hear it. I'm sorry about that. I didn't prepare enough. There's an intensity of preparation that's going on with these students, and all 3 of you are voice teachers and have trained to do that, and have all this professional experience as performers yourself. Has that been a pleasure to ask what really hard work of your voice students?
Yeah, consistency, preparation, behind the scenes preparation. We were just talking about that today in the final gathering of the vocal students in the program, about how much behind the scenes work it takes, whether that is with your music theory or musicology or your acting. And just the interpersonal relationships, developing relationships and a vocabulary with conductors and with accompanists and with fellow artists that you're singing with. So there's so many things to be thinking about. But to be able to be doing that, we were always doing it very well and very passionately before. But now that it's curricularized, now their vocal feet are to the fire, so to speak. It's part of their education. here, and not just a vocation. It's beyond that for them. It's taking their passion and making it real. One of the things, and it's also purposeful. That's the thing I wanted to say. Like what Dan didn't get to mention was that he in the first piece, Song and Story, he was able to write music. And perform it, right? You know what I mean? So, and we all thought very hard about that, both in the theater department and the music department, to say what pieces could we present this year that provide opportunities in singing and writing, in the different forms of delivery. So I'm as my colleagues have said, we all feel so lucky to be working with each other. It's so collaborative, so supportive, and I trust that the students feel that as well, that there's, it really does feel like a team, always putting everything together.
It feels that way to me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I've been lucky enough to have some close encounters with you guys and with the students as well. There are different, styles, different theories of vocal production, right?
Absolutely.
And do students get exposed to multiple, we already mentioned genres of music, but then also styles of
vocal
singing.
production,
Yeah.
absolutely, and the diction that changes as well for those styles. But yes, we are addressing that, and I think one of the unique goals of our program is that students have to learn all of them and be versatile. That is not typical, I think, in most courses of study, and we were very intentional about that when devising this program. It's hard for singers to make a living, and the more skill sets they have available, the more work they can get. So that was a very intentional choice on our part to ensure that exposure and skill levels of all different styles was across the board, that students are able to tackle all different types of music, from opera to jazz to pop and modern styles.
I could imagine a 15-year-old future opera singer already having that chosen as a goal, and then going into a conservatory and really focused on that.
Sure.
And yet, when they find themselves waiting tables and might want to sing something a little more jazz or scat or something like that.
So you're writing my biography, right? I'm joking, but only a little bit. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Dan, do you have a favorite style? You really have done, from your own written things to sort of folk genre, but operatic works as well?
We actually talked about this in our last meeting as a major. Through doing all of this, I've discovered so many more new loves. Before it, I had done a musical, choir as like an ensemble, and then I would make my own like folky music. But like through this, I have so many new loves. I love Italian bel canto. I think my favorite musical song is Anthem from Chess. I love that. But yeah, I think this has given me a lot of new loves and a lot of new skill sets. And so I can't wait to do more.
Yeah. I should mention that Julia also was one of the soloists in our performance of the Schubert Mass in G, and that we did with Sunday Symphonia. And I'll tell you, it was a magical moment. We rehearsed just 2 or 3 days before the public performance, and you guys had been practicing, and the orchestra had been practicing, but we weren't sure what we were going to hear. And then all of a sudden we start that out with this beautiful song, and goodness sakes, the sound coming from the back of the chapel, and then you're singing on your solo part. We were thrilled. There are a lot of community members in that orchestra, and they had no idea that there was that vocal talent here in our community.
to study under Professor Black, and we worked on that together in my individual voice lessons during the week. And I think something that is really important to me is doing a little bit of everything, because it works all different parts of your voice. So I was able in my lessons to work on maybe a musical theater song that I would maybe working on for a recital, but then I would be working on the Schubert Mass. And also having the opportunity to sing with professionals and sing with the orchestra like that, along with the choir, it was such an incredible experience. And I just want to keep doing it more and more and more. So it was just, I'm so grateful to be given these experiences so frequently at Albright through all the different programs that we have.
Yeah, yeah. If there were some young people watching the show, or maybe their parents or friends, how would you invite them into the Albright program, or what opportunities could they expect?
Well, they might have actually had a first experience this fall if they were part of the Berks County schools that came to our first choral festival. That's yet another thing that we accomplished this year. Well, you know, that Derek accomplished with the choir, and we had
A little over 115, about 115
students from the community here for a full day, a choral festival. Gave a short performance at the end of the day, but it was a pedagogic day of thinking about choral singing and how they use their voices and how they approach the text and think about different styles. So maybe some of our students in the community would have been introduced to us through that, but certainly. Taking it, if with their parents' permission and support, would come and see some of the work that we're doing would be a first thing that I would suggest. But then when you apply to Albright, then taking advantage of the talent awards competitions so it's for looking for scholarship support as well, which is a very robust program, and we look forward to meeting. It's our sort of first meeting with a lot of our students through what they submit to us on tape, and then come to campus. I would also want to mention that we're fortunate enough, the vocal performance program receives funding through the Joyce Family Foundation, an innovation grant that we applied for through the college. The Jeff Joyce family has a wonderful foundation to support innovative programming at Albright, and they are helping us bring in guest artists. Derek took the students to the Philadelphia Opera in September to see Simone Boccanegra at Opera Philadelphia, and so just those kinds of extra experiences await everybody, and so I think for us that's the joy and the hard part is that we want more and more of our local students to recognize what a jewel they have right in their backyard, in terms of really world-class training right here. And so it's it'll be our challenge, all of us, to get the word out about this new program.
Yeah.
And just to add to that, I would say, Jeff, Tammy, and I would love for you to stop in for a lesson. If you're thinking about doing something of the sort. If you're
that
interested,
would be a smart thing in any case.
Yeah, just to stop by to see, who you may be working with, and juniors and seniors that are currently in choir. I would say to their teachers, have them stop by if they can at 4:00 Mondays and Wednesdays to see the choir, maybe sing with us, have an opportunity to sing with us. We would love to have them there too, as well.
Well, I know talent. The wonderful thing about vocal talent is that it is universal. It is widely spread throughout the human family. Not everybody can afford a piano. Not everybody can afford a violin. But if you have that instrument, then you can develop it.
Well, and that Albright legacy as well.
A little bit of a legacy, yes. The fun thing is I appeared in a musical many years ago with your mom. Yeah, Big River, and I still remember that fondly. So, yeah, but you have a sibling who's going through that search process now, and the various kinds of audition, and just trying to find a place that's right and that's going to cultivate her particular vocal style and abilities. And
Yeah, we're trying to scaffold, if you will, the experience for students. We thought long and hard about what would we want to, if we had to do it all over again.
Yeah.
You know, the training. How would we want to work our way through the training? And so the 100 level course is, you know, a year-long course in music theory specifically for singers. So emphasizing oral skills and then moving into diction and phonetics. So the use of language for singing and understanding the vocal instrument, then into the vocal styles classes, and then sort of capstone experience where they think about, if I become a voice teacher, what do I need to know about pedagogy? And then the preparation for some sort of senior capstone project, whether that be in a musical or opera, or whether that be a recital or a concert or a gig, you know, if they're, you know. So it's so that that arc is there, and these students here are in a different part of that arc.
right.
So it's exciting.
Different stages.
Yeah.
But I get to look forward to that senior capstone and cheer for those performances. Or I'll offer right now. If you need cello, I'll be happy to join you. I'll be happy to join you. Great. We're looking forward to more music making in the spring.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So we have 2 choral concerts in the spring.
Yeah, one core concert. The first one in March will be focused on the African American tradition.
Oh, great.
So we'll go from spirituals to jazz and blues. The May concert will be Seasons of Love. So of course we'll have to do Rent, Seasons of Love, but we'll also have some Whitney Houston and Tina Turner. So it'll be a range. So yeah.
Great.
And then the theater department is doing, in conjunction with the music department, we'll do You're in Town, the musical, and we'll have some of the students from the music production team helping us with. We're going to venture into the land of microphones and amplified sound. So that'll be great. And then of course our recital series is, you know, as well.
Absolutely. We are planning for the voice performance majors to do a lecture recital on linked up with poetry in the library and things of that nature. So,
Boy, I'll tell you, we have gifts of collaboration here, don't we? I don't know if that's telling me that our time is up, but in fact, our time is just about up. But please do stop by campus. Come to some of these performances. They will be announced publicly on the Albright website, and that would be a great chance for you to hear some of these performers and to meet some of these faculty, and to think about the possibility of a vocal performance co-major at Albright College. We hope you'll consider that. And I thank you. And I thank you as well for joining me on tonight's Albright Scholar. We'll see you in the new year. Have a safe and happy holidays and safe travels to you all. We'll see you in January.